Welcome, Star Wars fan Rogue One.
Who are you, and what are you doing in my room?
You mean our room?
Wait, you're me.
Yes, Star Wars fan Rogue One. You can call me Star Wars hater Rogue One. And I am here to take over your channel.
Over my dead body.
Hello everyone, this is Star Wars fan Rogue One. And welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I wanted to talk about something that been going through my head now that The Rise of Skywalker is out. That is, when and how did Palatine clone himself? Meaning, like, how did he do it? I mean, we probably know how he did it, because cloning is cloning, but the question is when? When did he do it? So today that's what we're going to discuss. I think, I don't know, I think Palpatine cloned himself possibly before the events of the original trilogy. So probably before episode 4. And he might have, I don't know, this is just a stretch, but I'm thinking that he cloned himself during the Clone Wars. Because I think after episode 3, I think the cloning facilities shut down and stuff. And during the Clone Wars, the cloning facility was up and running and all that stuff. So option 1 is he cloned himself during the Clone Wars. So he secretly cloned himself because he was afraid of him basically dying, so he created his clone, and then he sent this clone away to Exegol, or whatever that planet is called. I can't really think of the name right now, but yeah, so that's option 1. Option 2 is he cloned himself before the prequels, like before episode 1, but that doesn't really make sense because Palpatine is young then, and he's not really crippled as he is in the original trilogy. Yeah, I don't think he did it before the prequel trilogy because he's young and he's not all crippled like he is in the original trilogy. And in episode 9, the clone, or the failed clone, is like crippled like Palpatine is in the original trilogy, or at least in Return of the Jedi. But yeah, so I'm thinking he did it during the Clone Wars. Because in the Clone Wars, he had access to the cloning facility on Kamino. Yeah, I think Palpatine was afraid of death. That was a big one. I'm not so sure, but I think anyone would be scared of death. A lot of people are scared of death, but I think Palpatine most of all was scared of death. That's one thing he was scared of. So he created the clone to basically take over if something were to happen to him, which he died in Return of the Jedi, and in episode 9, his clone was there, and he basically lifted the Empire again, or for a short moment at least. But yeah. So yeah, that is my theory. I believe that Palpatine cloned himself during the Clone Wars. That's the only thing that makes sense. I mean, could he have cloned himself before the prequel trilogy? Sure. Or he could have done it. He might have could have done it during the few gaps between the movies in the original trilogy, but that doesn't make sense either. So I believe that he did clone himself during the Clone Wars. Which time period or which place in time in the Clone Wars? I don't know, but because the Clone Wars era is so big, you can't really pick one timeline that he cloned himself. But it might have been at the very beginning of the Clone Wars. So like the early days of the Clone Wars, he cloned himself. I don't know. That's just my theory. So what are your guys' theories about how he cloned himself, or when did he clone himself? Yeah, just let me know in the comments below, and yeah, make sure you guys subscribe if you guys have not, and I will see you guys in the next episode or next video. Peace, guys.